return type methods, right? We created a void methods. Let's create a return type method, return type non-static method. Same, I'll take previous examples only, how to generate random number, but this time I'm going to generate the integer random number. How can you generate it? So let's see that. So that's an integer, my data type. Let me write first the syntax, access modifier, so data type, method name, parenthesis, curly braces, logic, and return type keyword value. So this is the syntax. I'm following that syntax. What is that syntax? Access modifier, I have taken a default data type. I want to return this method integer type of data. It doesn't matter what it is given, but I want to convert that into integer format. Final output I want integer. That's my goal. This method purpose is I need to generate a random number which is integer. It should be an integer, and that's why my data type is a int, and then get random integer number. Okay, so this is our method logic we're going to build up now. The statement I just write, so from which class it is coming, we'll just write little bit print statement you write so that we can understand from which class this method is coming. So instance member demo class, the method is started, and the method name is get random integer number. That's a method name, non-static method. So let's expand this so that you can see properly entire code. And how can you generate the random numbers? Using math class random method, right? So that's a return type method, but to generate random number from 0 to 1. Okay, so how can you generate that? So first it is returning a double data type. So first I'll write the double data type because the random method is returning a double data. So rand number equal to and math dot random. Same method I have used there and I'm using now also same. But I want output.
You have used the integer, Ramesh.
I want integer, right? So that what I'm going to do, I will convert this double to integer. So convert the double data in the same line you can do, but I don't want you confused. Double data to integer. So how can you do that? You assign the value to int, rand val equal to. So just assign this double value to integer. Then what we are getting here, type mismatch error, right? So right side it is a 64-bit and left side you have a 32-bit. So what we need to do to avoid this type mismatch error, the memory size is not matching. What you need to do, typecasting. Add cast to integer. I'm converting this double to integer format. So then return this value, return rand val. So this is the how to generate a random number. Maybe you can generate in between 1 to 100 only. So if you want 1 to 100, what you can do, you can multiply this with 100. So then it will generate so 1 to 100. So I'll put 1 to 100 only. Generate random number from 1 to 100 only. In between 1 to 100 only it will generate. Now we'll get only integer numbers. So this is the how you can generate the random numbers. So integer format we are converting. Basically you will get a double. Double how you will convert into integer? Do a typecast. So both are numbers only, right? But the data types different and also memory sizes are different. You can convert the right side one into integer format. You will get this integer value only. So anybody having doubt on this before going to the next method? Access modifier, so data type, method name, parenthesis, data type P1. So data type P2. I asked you guys to do this exercise. I haven't seen from you. Anyhow, let me write here. Logic, return value. What is the access modifier left? Protect. I want to get the max value or minimum value, whatever it is, that we need to get from these methods, math class methods. How can you get that? And our minimum value you want to get in between two integer numbers or two float numbers or two long numbers. How can you find out which one is a bigger number in out of given two? That program we need to write. Very simple programs you can write. You don't need a complicated, right? Now, what data type you want? Let me take, I want long. I will compare two long integers. Long get max value. So long L1 comma long L2. So just 1 minute, guys, I'll come back. I'm back. Okay, so any long or integers or float or double, you can get the max value. How can you do? Very simple. We're calling the method only. You are not going to do any right conditions, all this here. Directly you're calling math class max method and min method if you want minimum value. When you all take up this exercise, do all the different methods you create and call that, so that you will get understanding of what are all the methods are there in the math class. So overview of the methods you will get. So I want long, right? Long max value equal to, you can write even directly in the return statement, this one. Just you can call, see, let me call how I can call directly. I can reduce the number of lines of code. Yeah, I'll call in that directly in the return statement. Return space math dot max value. See, max has a 4 methods here, not one method. You have a long, you have an integer, you have a double, you have a float. In out of these all 4 methods you call create. You want more methods, right? Create, get max integer value, max long value, max double value, max float value out of given two values. So I want long, right? So I can take this and you can call L1 and this is L, right? These are the parameters. These parameters only I need to use here. For this method, I'm passing L1 as a one parameter, L2 as another parameter. So this will return out of these two, which one is big. That's it. Very simple. I don't need to store again in the variable like this. So all this you can directly write your logic in the written statement also. The way you write is important. Either this also you can do that, and also directly you can write in the written statement also. If you want to reduce number of lines of code, it's all up to you. Okay. And another exercise can you all take up? So first is 3 methods you need to create max relate, and 4 methods with the minimum relate. All are written type. And the 5th method is convert the Celsius degrees temperature to Fahrenheit. That's another exercise. I want you to see all these methods exercises and send it to me. Okay. So what are the, did you all note down? The first method is, so what is the first method? Get
3 types of
max value of 4 types. One I have given, long I have given. So you have to do for float, so integer and double. You have to same get minimum value. This is the method name. Okay, this is the method name. And your parameters also, it can be any parameter. So for input type, so here also for input type, that means parameters. For input parameters, these are the parameters you need to take. What are the parameters? Float category one type, one method with the float, one method with integer, one method with long, and one method with the double. So here 4 is coming, but here only 3. Why? Because I have written already long. So you can create 4 methods here, 3 methods here. And if anybody not getting, let me know the methods why you are not getting. Okay. And next one. What is the next method you need to create? Convert Celsius degrees temperature to Fahrenheit temperature. So these are the methods you need to create and send it. I want to see these all types of method. You have to create a parameterized methods. All you need to create a parameterized methods. So anybody having doubt on this methods creation?
Can we do both static and non-static, Ramesh, or are you expecting only non-static?
Both you can do. Both you can. That's an option for you, right? Again, you can play around with static and between non-static. You can practice both of them. Basically, we need how you will create the methods. That's what we need. That you can practice here. Okay. So all 4 types of methods I have created here now. 2 void methods, 2 return type methods. These are the void methods and these are the return type methods. Now how to call this non-static data in any class. Any class, it doesn't matter. Only one concept I told you. What is that? Only single concept, that is creating object for the class. Create object for the class to call the non-static stuff. And where you can create object. So this is the place. Why you need to create object? Create object for the class to call non-static members. So what are the non-static members? What are non-static members?
Non-static variables, non-static methods.
Methods. That's a non-static stuff means, non-static members means. How to create object? So class name, reference of object equal to new class name, parenthesis, semicolon. So the class name is instance variable demo, IMD equal to new class name, parenthesis, semicolon. So you can create n number of objects. I'll create one more object, INS object or IMD object. This is a reference variable, just a local variable because data type. Then variable name. The right side one is a value. Right side one is a value. What is the value? Which value? The heap address memory. Address memory. This is the object address. This is the object. This object address is stored in the heap memory. That's very clearly explained in the last class. When you create object, it will allocate memory in this heap memory. All the instance variables and instance methods will come and store in this object address. Then object address is referred by that local variable that is under main method. So this is the local variable that's under main method, so that I can use this object reference in this method only. If you want to use this object reference in another method, make this as a global variable. This part you declare outside the methods. That's a global variable concept. And now, is this object and this object is same? The memory address are same or different?
Different.
It's a different.
It's going to the same address, but it's a different memory place, a different object. This one.
Not same. Heap area it will go. You're right. In the heap memory only it is going, but memory address is different. Memory addresses are different. Two different memory addresses will be created in the heap memory. So both are not same. If anybody asks you given like this, so is that same? So they will ask you a question like, so they'll just compare both objects. How can you compare? Compare both objects using equals method from built-in object class. So object class has a built-in method that is equals method. Equals method is used to compare two objects. Any objects you can compare. Any two objects you can compare. Or you can use a double equal. So double equal, because both are integer numbers, right? Then you can use double equal to also. So let me show you first. I'll use a double equal to. So both are same or not, we can see that. Basically, you will get a Boolean value. Either equals method also will give you Boolean value. This also will give you, this is the conditional operator, right? This also will give you Boolean operator. So Boolean b equal to IMD object equal to INS object. You can put in the brackets. This is the expression, right? Expression you can put in the bracket. Single value means no problem, you can keep directly. But if it is an expression, you can keep in the bracket. Now see that both are not equal, you will get a false. Comparing IMD object and INS object using double equal operator. So let's call this, what is that? B value. So what is the output you are getting? Let's see that. First of all, why you need to create object? To call non-static methods and non-static variable under static method. Under any method, you need to create object. You need to create object. So that purpose, we are going to create object. Objects will store in the heap memory. See that? False. Both are not same. So how can you prove that? So let's see. Get this memory address and this memory address. What is the value stored in this object reference? How can you get this object address? Fetch object address using hash code method. Hash code method of object class. Hash code method returns a integer number. So the return type method, this is the return type method. So return type methods, how can you call? You can put either in the print statement or you write a data type, this variable name, the formulas, all formulas, whatever we have given, that's the only place will help you. The variable name. That's what I'm saying. Our formulas is a crucial. If you are good with those formulas, object reference dot hash code method. This is the formula. So that's what I'm doing here. Integer IMD value, IMD address value equal to. So this reference variable dot hash code method. See that? The method returns a integer type of data. It's not void. They haven't used void. That's what we are return type methods. So to call the return type methods, what we are using? Object reference. So object. You can ask, sir, we didn't create this hash code here. How you are getting? So every class parent class is object class. For every class, whatever the class you create, the parent for that class is object class. So that all the parent class properties you can use. That means it is inherited automatically. Every class, the parent class is object. So any class can use object class methods directly with object reference. That's what I used object reference dot. That's a non-static method, right? This is a non-static method. Non-static method, how can you call? With object. That's why we are calling with object reference this hash code method. So this output I'm storing in this local variable. So you can print that value, IMD object memory address value, or you can call directly in the print statement. This thing, this right side part, you can call directly in the print statement. I'll show you for this. Okay. So this one is I'm just showing how to store in a variable. So data type in the variable and the object reference dot hash code method. So for this object, I'll call directly in the print statement. Okay. So let's use this IMD memory addresses, and you want to print here this directly in the print statement. You can print INS object memory addresses. So the reference variable dot, I'm calling directly in the print statement. Return type method you can call directly. That's what I told you. Return type methods you can call directly in the print statement. See that either this is correct and this one is also correct. Both are, any one is fine. So now you see both object address. So both will be different. See that this one is 201, this one, but this is 1311053113. See that both memory addresses are different. That's why both are not same. That's why returning false. The double equal operator is returning false, right? Is it clear? Okay, but I didn't call, right? The method's main purpose is you need to call the methods. Any object reference you can use to call. Now we created two objects. Two objects will go and store here. So it will come and store in the one object. So you create a object here. So it will create here one object, and it will create another object over here, right? Like this. So each object, remember this point, again I'm repeating, each object, all the instance variables and instance methods will copy to every object. Here also all the instance variables. So what are all the instance variables? Yes, C, I, F, right? Yes, Java. C, small a, right? We use it small a. I, what is the I value? 25. Next, what is the next one? F value 7.5. So and then methods, all the methods also will copy to that address. Again here same, all these variables will copy to this address also. Here also it will copy. And then methods also. The methods, what are the methods? Char demo method. Then you have a swap method. So I'll just write swap, okay, simple. And get random, so random number. So that method. And then next method also. What is the other method? So get max value. This method also, same methods will copy in this address also. Every time you create object, same variables will copy to each time you create a new object. Same instance variables, same methods will copy to that address also. For every object, it will be copied. Are you clear on this?
Yes, Ramesh. Quick question. So if we assign the values in the runtime, it will take the variable names first and then assign the values in the runtime in each memory?
Yes. So in the runtime, you want to assign the values. Which object you are passing the values, those values will go and store in that variable. Okay. That's the concept of non-static variables and non-static methods. So non-static variable main purpose is uniquely you can pass your variable data, whichever the data you want. You don't need a duplicate. So that's how you can plan. That's I will show you in the OOPS concept. Still we are far away for that. Then we can see that all those things, char demo. So same method will copy to this address also, swap method, and then get random value methods. Then same get max value method. So all the same methods will copy to this memory, this address also. When you are calling, which object values you want to call, which object members you want to call, you will use that reference. Okay, are you clear now? Any doubts? Now I'll use this object address, object reference variable, and this is a local. I cannot use this object reference variable in another methods. Why? This is the local variable concept. Why it is a local variable? This reference variable is preceded by a data. I told you local variable syntax. This is a local variable syntax. Data type, variable name equal to object memory address. Now, why sir it is a local variable? You can say, what is this the data type? The non-primitive data. Class is one non-primitive data type, right? All this, that's a variable is in depth if you understand, and it will come nicely. You can understand all these concepts. That's what I told you. Every class is crucial for your next class. Every class in depth, if you understand this variable concept, then it will be very easy for you. Then you cannot misuse this local variable. You cannot use this object reference in another method, because this is local to this method only. That's it. That scope of this variable scope is only till this method, this main method, and where you created local variable. Okay, now let's go. We almost spend a lot of time here. First thing is, let's move on how to call non-static methods one by one in the same class. How to call, let me show you that. Let's move on to our log methods topic. You move and you will get a so nice explanation. I don't know why it's not showing. It's on the top, I think. Methods, method. Yes, it's a very important topic. Highly used topic, this one. So not normal one, highly used topic. And first scenario, in the same class, how to call non-static members. The first step, you need to give answer. Anybody if you ask, how can you call non-static members in the same class, in another class, another package class? Only one concept, create object for the class. Anywhere, it doesn't matter, and only one concept, single concept for non-static variables and non-static method. That is, create an object for the class. How to create object? Class name, object reference equal to new class name parenthesis semicolon. This is the one creating object. New keyword is creating object there. So the right side part is an object, and only this part is called default constructor, because there is no parameters. You can have a parameters here also, then that will become parameterized constructor, and this is the object. Now first one, how can you call non-static void method under main method in the same class? Object reference dot non-static method. Let's move on. So one by one. So what is the object reference? I'm using this object reference is ins object dot char demo is the method void without parameters. See that I called it. In the main method, main is a static method, but I call non-static. How is it possible? With object reference only, that is possible. Directly you cannot call. So execute the code. You can see the output here. So this is the output. Okay. And next one, how can you call parameterized void method? So call this. So object reference is ins object dot swap. So this is the parameterized method. So any parameterized method you can call like that. It will swap both the values. You can see here first 45 and 90. After swapping, the x value 90, y value 45. This is how to write a simple logic. This same logic I'm going to use in arrays also. Make sure you practice this swapping logic, how to swap two numbers, and that will really help you. So then how can you call return types non-static method? This is a very important. See, before calling this method, I got here itself, right? I got here this method, hash code method is a return type method. I called same logic we are using here for that also. So everything is a duplicate kind of we are calling. Many times I'm explaining that concepts. So please get those concepts. It's a very important. Now, so what is our method? Which method you are calling? So void methods are done. Now return type methods. So this method return type is integer. So I'll put int. Data type of the method is int space rand int value equal to, and the object reference is ins object dot get random integer number. Now you can see the value random integer value is. So you can just call this variable local variable. Now you can see every time you run, you'll get a one random number 59 now. So next time you run, it will be a different number. So dynamically it will generate 78. If you run one more time, it's a different. See that 24. This 1 to 100 we are generating randomly. You can try with 1 to 10 also. So that's how you need to improve your logic. You think, okay, I want 1 to 10 only. I want 1 to 1000. So just elaborate that method in different ways. That's how you think out of box. Okay, what I want 1 to 1000. Then how can you get it? Where I kept 100, you just move it to whichever the number you want. If two digits if you want, put 100. If single digit you want, put 10. If 3 digits you want, 1000 you put there. You write that 4 methods you write, 3 methods you write, and whether you're getting or not, you check that, right? Your logic is your method is giving correct logic or not, correct number or not, you can check by this logic. That's what you have to elaborate your methods and practice more kind of methods. This another 3 methods you can take. See, put a 10, you're getting single digit or not, you try. Put a 1000, you're getting 3 numbers or not, you check, just check that. So if I give 1000, I should get 3 numbers, 3 random numbers, 3 digits I should get. See that 31, okay, 1 to 1000, right? So next time you'll get a different value. See 846. 846 in the above 100, right? So like that you can
Yes.
get 1 to 1000. So you practice all these things, okay? Practice all these things, then only you will get a better idea on the coding. Okay, so the next one, how can you call in the print statement? Let's finish this quickly. How can you call in the print statement? So print statement, I have shown you already. Again, I'm showing one more time. So max value is, so in given values, what is the max value? INS object dot get max value. You give the values 120 capital L and 159 capital L. So any two integer numbers, long values. See that 159, it will return to you. See that the max value is 159 out of this 120 and 159. That's the max value. 159 is the max value. You are getting easily. So are you all clear till now? I called void methods and return type method. I'm moving to variables, how to call. See that I'm going to call the variables and do some calculation. Then how can you use that? So this is the formula I'm going. So some calculation I'm doing. So how can you do calculation between the variables? So this is the one. See that I want a floating value. Float result equal to. So I'll call INS object dot C. C value I'm calling plus INS object dot I value I'm calling minus INS object dot F value I'm calling. So obviously I'll get float, right? So this is the value is, this C value is 97. So I'm giving here the calculation also. 97 plus 25, right? I value is 25. Yeah, 25 minus. So what is the F value? 7.5 minus 7.5, I think. Whatever is 7.5. So these values are, this is a 97 small a ASCII code. Small a ASCII code is 97, and the value you will get here, the a value, a ASCII code value you will get 97 plus I value 25 minus the F value. The F value you will get. You are calling the variable means F value. How you are calling all this F, I, C? These are non-static variables. How you are calling in static methods? Directly you don't have permission, right? How we are calling? With object reference. With object reference you are calling any non-static stuff. You must use object reference to call them. I hope you are clear now. Or any doubt still? You have to speak, and the silence doesn't, give you the, if you have a doubts, the clarity won't give you if you are silent. Always you need to talk. That's important. If you are not talking, I will keep moving. How can you call in the print statement the non-static variable in the I'm calling? So non-static S value is INS object dot S. S is a non-static variable. So that's it. See that Java you're getting. So any questions before moving to the next class? In the same package, I'm going to create a new class. That is how to call this class non-static members in another class of same package. Same package I'm creating. I'm going to call them. Call instance members in another class in capital. Another class, same package. So this class also same package. and instance members demo class also in the method programs package. So basically another class you are trying to call. How can you call? So only one concept, that is create object for the class. First thing is create object for the class. So no other concept. Which class members you are calling, that class you need to create object, not for the current class. This class doesn't have any members, not for this class. Don't create object for this class. Which class members you are calling, for that class you have to create object. Again, that is also important. I saw many people creating object where you are calling that class, you are creating object. You won't get that because it doesn't have any members. This class doesn't have any members. Class name and IAM object equal to new class name. So this is how you can create. Sorry, let me use class name here before going further. So replacement class name I'll replace with instance member demo. IAM object equal to new. As per formula I'm going, I'm not deviating from here. Now first thing, how can you call non-static in another class? How to call non-static variable in another class? Which things we can call here? Which members you can call? Which members you can call? So this class, which class members? This class members, what are all accessible here in another class? In this class non-static variable, which one I can call in another class?
Public float f is equal 7.5.
Madam, I
This one and protect also you can call, but you have to use for inheritance.
So I'm asking question. Which variables you can call out of these four variables?
X variable is f floating.
CIF, sir.
C is a private. You can't call there. Just private and public.
C is not private.
Okay.
Yes, C is private. C is a default. Default means in the same package I can access. I also in the same package you can access. Because I is a protected, same package you can access. If you are calling I in another package, then you need inheritance. But I'm not, I'm in the same package I'm calling. This class also same package. So that I can call at least one member I'll call. Instance member demo class C value is. So how can I call? Directly shall I call C? It will throw error. It doesn't understand. Cannot be resolved. So we have to use object reference. Without object reference, that's not possible at all. So you cannot call. Even with class name also you cannot call. The formula is very clearly object reference dot. Follow the formula. You don't need to think also. What is the object reference here? IAM object dot non-static variable which is having permission C, I, F. You have permissions. You can use any of three, right? Any of three you can call. See that I can access that. See that A value you are getting. So now non-static method. How can you call one class non-static method in another class? So that also same formula, object reference. So that, but this doesn't have a permission. So this car demo doesn't have a permission because we restricted to this class only. That's why I will change this to public so that I can call in another class. So if not public, you cannot call. Remember that point. See, now it is visible. If you make private, it's not going to be visible. So this is the another program. How to call. Next, void parameterized method. How to call. I'm calling void parameterized method. So this is also saying object reference. What is object reference? IAM object dot swap. So this X value and Y value you can give. So any values you can give, it will swap automatically to us. See the output, you can see the output here. X value before swapping 20, Y value 78. After swapping, X value is 78, Y value is 20. This is how to swap any two integer numbers with third variable. Now next, how to call return type methods. How can you call return type methods? Same formulas as no, as in the same class how you are calling. So object reference. The return type methods, right? Return type methods, how can we call? You have to use a data type. So now return type methods is this. One, we have a default access modifier. So this is the default, right? This is the default access modifier. So default, where you can access? In the same package anywhere, any class. So that's why I can access this get random number. What is the data type of this method? Integer. So let's put integer. And so rand value equal to im object dot get random integer, because it's a default access modifier, so you can access directly, no issues in the same package. Random integer value is plus this value. So execute that. That 36 you are getting random value. Then how can you call in the print statement? So return type methods, how can you call in the print statement? Same procedure, no issues at all. Only one concept, object tree. Again, for static you have something different, but here non-static you don't have any difference here. So we are getting max value, right? Max value for long type is, you can get im object dot get max value. So that is 120, and I'm giving 250. So you can change, otherwise I'll change this to 720. Capital you have to give. So it will give you first value I'm comparing now. 720 is the output you should get. See, 720 you are getting. So this is how you can call all the non-static stuff in another class of same package. Now let's move on to the another package class how to call. Here also same procedure and no difference at all. Same procedure, create object for that, but extra you will get here import. Call non-static members in another package class. Another package class we are calling. So another package class, if you want to call, what is the criteria? The first thing is you have to import. So anyway, if you create object, first create object, there it will ask you create object for the class. Which class members you are calling? For that class you have to create object. So this class members I am calling. This class members I am calling. So what is the criteria? If you want to call in another class of same different package, first create object. So what is the syntax? Class name, reference of object equal to new class name parenthesis. So class name is this one, and inst object equal to new inst object. But it is throwing error, right? See that it's error. Why? Just mouse over on this. Import instance member, because we didn't import. If you are crossing the package, first thing you have to do import. See that import, automatically it will come. You don't need to write. Just write this object syntax and then mouse over there, and it will ask you to import it. So import statement will add above the class, below the package. Then you call all the variables. Which variables you can call? Which is having only public access modifier. Which is having only public access modifier. Those things only you can call. So now call the variables. So how can you call the variables? Just call instance member demo class. Only one thing, I think it has a variable value is, you can call inst object dot, which is visible, inst O small letter, because I have given O small letter. See, only F is visible. Then methods, non-static void method, just calling the non-static void method, inst obj dot char demo. So this one, and call parameterized. So inst obj dot swap, because both are public, that's why you are able to call both things, otherwise you cannot call. Okay, so this is the one, return type methods. Let's try to call return type methods. So return type methods, if you want to call, what is the syntax? Data type of the method, so variable name equal to object reference dot return type non-static method parenthesis semicolon. So now the both return type doesn't have a permission here. See that this one is a default. Default you cannot access outside the package. Protected also you cannot access outside the package if you are not applying inheritance. So what I need to do, I'll just change this to public. The permission I'm giving. So I'm giving a permission so that I can access this method. I can access this method. So integer, the method returns integer type of data, rand value equal to, and inst obj dot get random integer. So this is the how to call all the methods. So random value is, so everywhere you see object reference, there is no change at all, right? Imported, if you are crossing always a package, first thing you have to do is import. You will do import thing. Okay, so that's all about how to call non-static members in another package class. I have seen three scenarios. We have seen three scenarios. Same class how to call, another class of same package how to call, third scenario another package class how to call. Everywhere one concept, that is create object for that class, then call the members of that object with object reference. Right, that's all about today's class, and methods are done.